Hello guys, so today we're going to read a book called Polar Bears by Newman. I have the link of me reading the entire book as well, but for this lesson we're just going to read a couple pages out of it to introduce the topic of polar bears that we're about to be learning all throughout this slideshow. So today we are going to be talking about a couple of key factors that are also in the book. We're going to be talking about where polar bears live, and we also are going to be talking about what helps them in their environment and what kind of environment they live in. So the first page we're going to read is Polar Bears in the Arctic. Everyone see the page? Polar bears live in the north, unlike penguins. They do not live in Antarctica. Penguins and polar bears never get to meet in the wild. Polar bears live in only 5 countries, all of which are surrounded by the North Pole. They live in Russia, Canada, the United States, Alaska, Norway, and Greenland. And so here's a map right here in this book. Here's a picture of a polar bear. Polar bears are not really white. Despite what they look like and what most people think, polar bears are black, not white. Under all that warm, thick fur, their skin is totally dark. The fur itself is made up of clear, hollow hairs, sort of like hollow tubes that contain no color whatsoever. The bears look like they're white only because of the clear hair reflects the light. So they match their environment. As you can tell, their environment is it's white. So the polar bears have to blend in with their environments. Polar bears are patient. Polar bears are very patient hunters. Their main diet is a rigged seal, which is the most numerous seal in the Arctic. They can smell a seal's breathing hole in the ice. Then they have to wait silently until the seal surfaces at that particular hole. This can take a very long time, since each seal has about 10 or even 11 different holes to choose from. Sooner or later, the seal returns and the giant bear grabs him. Polar bears are hungry, okay? Polar bears like to eat only the blubber and skin of the seal and usually leave the meat, which is in turn scavenged by Arctic foxes. A bear can eat 100 pounds of seal fat at a single sitting. Polar bears need to catch about 1 seal a week in order to stay strong and healthy. When the opportunity presents itself, which is rarely, polar bears will even hunt walruses and beluga whales. Polar bears are tough. Polar bears are masters when it comes to enduring blizzards and cold weather. They have lots of warm fur, even on the bottoms of their feet. But equally important is their 4-inch layer of blubber, which this combination of fur and blubber, almost no heat escapes from their body. Even when the Arctic temperature drops to a negative 50 degrees Fahrenheit, a polar bear's body temperature stays at a steady 98.6 degrees, the same as ours. Their compact ears and very short tail further prevents heat loss. So there's a number of different things that help them from losing heat in their very, very cold Arctic weather. Polar bears are fast, another part that helps them survive in their environments. No other 4-legged animals can swim as fast as polar bears. They swim at a rate of 6 miles per hour. That's quite a bit faster than they generally walk. They can do this because of their dinner plate-sized front paws, which are webbed and work like paddles. They use their hind legs only to steer. Their great swimming ability gives them their Latin name, which means sea bear. They are also good divers and can see well underwater. Polar bears are few, Altogether, there's only 20,000 to 25,000 polar bears in the world. These are separated into 19 groupings, which are called subpopulations. Most polar bears are about 15,000 live in the Canadian territory. About 4,000 live in northern Alaska in 2 separate groups. There are no polar bears in the middle to southern part of Alaska. Polar bears are endangered. For tens of thousands of years, polar bears are the undistributed rulers of the far north. But now their existence is in jeopardy. Climate change is their single greatest threat. When the sea ice breaks up and melts earlier and earlier each spring, the bears find it increasingly difficult and impossible to catch seals. The result has been that in certain regions, fewer baby bears are surviving since their mothers are not as well nourished. Population and disturbance caused by northern oil rigs and exploration for oil are additional threats. The United States Department of Interior declared the polar bears as a threatened species, the first animal added to the endangered species list because of global warming. And that is all that we're going to read today out of the book. There's more interesting facts about polar bears that you are more than welcome to watch, and you may need to for the end of the project. But for right now, that's what we're going to talk about for this specific lesson. Thank you.